Hi, I hope you're well, healthy, and safe. So, what is the mission statement of Judaism? What's the most important verse in the Torah? Truth is, every word in every letter is very important. In fact, if one letter in the Torah is missing, you cannot use that Torah in the synagogue. Nevertheless, there actually was a discussion in the Medrash. What is the most important verse in the Torah? Ben Azai, the sage Ben Azai, held that it was the following verse found in Bereshis, in Genesis 5:1. This is the book of the Chronicles of man. On the day that God created man, he created him in the image of God. The man is created in God's image. According to Ben Azai, that's the most important verse in the Torah. Okay? Another sage, Ben Zoma, had a different opinion. He held the famous declaration of Shema Yisrael, Hashem Elokeinu, Hashem Echad, Hear, O Israel, the Lord is our God, the Lord is one. That's the most important phrase in the Torah. Well understood. A third Talmudist, Bananas, chose a different verse, also quite famous. V'ahavta l'reacha kamecha. You shall love your fellow man like yourself. Found in Vayikra 19:18. Okay, understood. Important point. Very important point. Finally, there was a fourth opinion, and this actually is taken. He takes a verse from our parsha in Pinchas, chapter 28, verse 4, which talks about. It talks about the daily sacrifice, the korban tamid, that the Jewish people had to bring. So sakeves echad taseh b'beker, sakeves hasheni taseh b'hamayim. One lamb bring in the morning, and one lamb bring as an offering in the afternoon. According to Shimon ben Pazi, that's the most important phrase in the Torah. How are we supposed to understand that? Shema Yisrael, God is one, I understand. Man is created in God's image. Okay. Love your fellow man as yourself. Okay. But here, bring a sacrifice in the morning, a sacrifice at night. How did that make it to being the most important verse of the Torah? Not just that, but the Medrash concludes that one of the rabbis stood on his feet and declared the verdict follows the opinion of Shimon ben Pazi, that the most important verse in the Torah is the daily lamb offerings. How are we supposed to understand this? So the great Jewish thinker and sage, the Maharal, 1525 to 1609, explained like this. The message here is very important. What Shimon ben Pazi was trying to tell us is that what's most important in Judaism is practicing it every day. Let's say somebody, he doesn't write this, but let's say, right, there's Jews of different levels of observance. Let's say there's a Jew that puts on tefillin every day. That's all he does. Puts on tefillin. But that mitzvah he does every single day. That's his connection to God. That's his connection to the Jewish people, to Jewish history, to the Torah, to his own soul. Consistency. Daily consistency. That's Judaism. Obviously, from mitzvah of tefillin, we encourage you to go to the next mitzvah, etc. But there has to be every Jew, and whatever level he is. I mean, this is I'm expanding. The Maharal spoke about the consistency, but I'm expounding. I'm bringing this to every level of observance that I'm doing. Every level of observance, whatever level of observance you are, there's a certain thing that there should be, that this is done every day. I'm a Jew every day, and I do this for God every day. Sometimes I'm very busy. I don't have the 5-10 minutes for tefillin. I make the sacrifice, and I find the time. Women that don't put on tefillin, it could be a daily prayer. When you wake up in the morning, the Moda Ani, or the Shema Yisrael in the morning, or at night before you go to sleep, whatever it is. Or let's say if women light Shabbos candles, the consistency. every day or every week, if you're talking about Shabbos. That is a very, very important message, and that's why the verdict was that this is the most important, because you could think about God. God is one. Love your fellow as yourself. If you don't implement it every day, it's a problem. Perhaps another person will have, a day should not pass without me doing something for someone else. Implementing v'ahavta l'recha kamecha, love your fellow as yourself. A day should not pass without picking up the phone and asking a friend how you're doing. A lonely person, whatever it is. But Judaism is something that has to be done on a constant basis, on a daily basis. And this ensures us that the day will be enriched with eternal purpose and meaning, and a day really, really worth living. A full day, a day full of life, purpose, and meaning. All the best. Have a good Shabbos.